One of the big problems right now with UFC events is the fact that the ticket prices have become so expensive, and look no further than some of the ticket prices for UFC 329. Now, obviously, this is a bit of an exception to the rule with Conor McGregor making his long-awaited return against Max Holloway, but you can read the title here from Damon Martin. It says, Conor McGregor's return prompts huge ticket sales, with some seats costing more than $24,000 each, and that's American. So here in Canada, I'm paying way more than that. But if we read the article here, and again, great job by Damon on this, despite a 5-year-long layoff and coming back from a broken leg, the Irish superstar still commands an audience like no one else in the sport. The greatest evidence of this comes from early ticket sales for his comeback fight. I know Jaden Cable did a video on this too, trying to get tickets himself. But here's the key thing here. Axis is handling ticket sales for the event, and the price of a single seat to witness McGregor's return to action are going for as much as $24,600, with the cheapest seats still available sitting at $1,822 currently. Based on current ticket sales, the highest priced options are third row seats near the octagon, with fourth row seats on the opposite side going for $15,000 each, almost $16,000 right there. Thus, there are a small amount of floor seats are available overall, with the cheapest option on sale for $7,300. Lower price options in the upper decks are going for under $2,000. Tickets have been selling at rapid fire fashion since pre-sales started this past week. Based on the current availability, the cheapest seat available for McGregor's return is $1,822. This is crazy. Like, I get that McGregor's coming back, but we've heard some complaints about ticket sales for a while from the UFC. Remember at UFC 327, that was a great event. Bloody Elbow had the headline here talking about 327 had around 6,000 unsold tickets, claims former champion following significant gate decline. And part of this was the ticket sales. I heard this from a lot of people, that it was just a lot to afford tickets. And I mean, who's got that much money lying around here? Like, again, I get it's McGregor, but like, you're really alienating a lot of fans by having the ticket prices so high. And I know people that, you know, will spend the money for good seats, but they aren't going. My friend Marcus, who owns Nubian Bookstore in Atlanta, he says, I doubt I will attend this price for a seat that's 17 rows behind where I usually sit. So he shows the price here. It's $3,522 just for a single seat for a UFC event. That's normally where he sits. He mentions that doubt ticket prices will drop for what could be Conor McGregor's last UFC fight. I don't know if it'll be his last one. We'll see. Nosebleeds are over $900. And then he said, no 329 for me. He already made his decision. So he had a couple follow-up tweets. He said, I paid approximately $1,500 for the same seat for Max Charles rematch and Gaethje Patty. So he spends the money, and that same seat is now almost $7,000. Like, what are we doing here? And the worst part is there probably are people who are going to buy this, and they're going to keep the prices this high, but you're really alienating a lot of fans not being able to go see an event. Now, look, I know it's capitalism, supply and demand, whatever you want to call it. I understand that, and I do understand that Conor's coming here, but this is a bit ridiculous for it to cost that much. And especially for someone like Marcus, who goes every year and spends thousands of dollars going to see an event, for him to be like, yeah, too much for me. I get it. And I've said this before, like, it is cool going to events live. I've gone to, I don't know how many events, 30, close to 40 UFC events. And listen, like, it is cool to be there. It's fun to, you know, be in the atmosphere and see fights happen. But I think being at home is just as good in some ways, because you get every angle. A lot of times, especially these floor seats that they're talking about, a lot of times you end up staring at the monitor because you can't see the fighters when they go into certain positions. You have to actually look up at the monitor. So like, are you paying to get your neck hurt by looking up at the top? Like, I don't know if it's necessarily worth it. There is something to be said about being a part of, you know, witnessing something live in the cage. I mean, I've been there for Khabib and Conor. I've been there for Diaz and Conor when Diaz submitted him. It's pretty cool. Those are memories that will never go away, and I got to see those. And I was lucky enough to get media passes for those, so it wasn't even a case of me having to pay the money. But I did pay money to see George St. Pierre beat Matt Serra in Montreal, and that was cool, and that was like a memory that's lasted with me forever. So I get it, but like, I don't know. Now, I wonder, is this a case of the venue? Like, I don't think it's all to blame on the UFC, because obviously these venues, they charge a pretty penny as well. Like, it's got to be, you know, something. It's got to be a mix of both. It's just my guess. I'm not well versed in the ticket industry, but I can tell you that it's not just the UFC doing this. It's also the venue itself, you know, prepping for like a big event. Because I've heard issues with ticket sales for a while. Like, it's not just whether it's Access or Ticketmaster, all these things. Tickets in general right now are really expensive for a lot of different things. Like how many times you see someone say, "Hey, I got a great deal on tickets," unless it was something at the last minute or they're getting it from a scalper or whatever. But yeah, I just think this is really going to hurt things a little bit. If you look at Marcus's tweet here, you know, this guy comments, it says, wait till mid-June to decide. Tickets will slowly fizzle and go down in price. But Marcus is flying up from Atlanta. Plus, he's got to get the hotel and everything else. So that does cost a lot. Doubt prices will go down. Tickets don't sell. The prices have to drop. That's how it works. UFC 303 dropped below 500 for nosebleeds before Conor pulled out. That's a thing. They're somehow selling like everything is sold out. Those are pre-sale for people who paid extra to get tickets early. There's still around 15,000 tickets to be sold. So that was May 27th. It's June 1st today. So you can see here, he mentions paid $2,500 for the same seat for Conor and Khabib. So Conor and Khabib, which was a bigger fight, he paid $2,500. Now, granted, that was ages ago, right? But still, it kind of puts things in perspective a little bit. That's insane. Tickets are getting crazy. The price these days here in Canada, we get crazy prices for crap cards. Much more worth. I heard that too about, like Montreal last year for the UFC. Expensive tickets. I paid $300 for a seat like this UFC Fox for an LA back in 2012. Canadian dollar and American were the same at this point too. I mean, those are great seats. So that's nuts. I wonder if we have a tweet from MMA Fighting on Damon's article. Curious to see if we get some responses to that. Yeah, here we go. So let's see some of the responses to this. Imagine dropping that much and then the main event is Holloway again. I mean, that's the other thing. Knock on wood, guys, because I'm actually going to this event as a member of the media, but let's hope that Conor makes it to the fight. Imagine spending that much, because I don't think you can get a refund on that. I know it's card. I think on the poster it says like card subject to change, but I don't think you can get a refund. Might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure you can't get a refund on tickets. People that spend that much are really dumb, which begs the question: how do they have money to waste? 24K. Yeah. So just a couple of responses from this, but. Yeah, I just I feel for people that want it. Imagine you're imagine you're coming from Ireland and this is how much the tickets are. There's got to be people coming from Ireland. Someone's got to put their life savings together to go to this card, basically. It's insane. So yeah, it's something the UFC should at least address. I mean, I doubt they will, but they should address it because you're taking this away from a lot of fans that can't afford to go see it. And I think that sucks. I think every UFC fan should have the ability to go see an event. And when you're having ticket prices like this, it's going to be really rough, and we'll see. Again, it's a bit of a different situation, but with Conor being back, but still, that's insane. And I wonder, for other events, what are the tickets going to be for UFC 330 when they eventually announce that card? What's that going to look like? Is it going to be this much? I mean, we're seeing a trend. Like I said, it hurt UFC 327 because, again, they had a bunch of unsold tickets, and that was in Miami. And again, that's why you're getting the ticket prices being a bit higher. This is Vegas, another popular market for the UFC. So, yeah, I hope it's something they address or at least look into and make it a little bit more fair for everyone else. But there's no way I would even think to pay that much for a ticket. So I guess my question I'll throw at you guys is, how much would you be willing to pay for a Conor McGregor ticket? How much would it cost? A couple grand I could understand maybe, but even then, a cheap seat in the nosebleed should not cost $1,000. That's crazy to me. And 24,000, what are we doing here? That's too much. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think this will be a problem going forward for ticket sales? Will this hurt? I mean, it seems like they're almost sold out here, that it kind of worked for them, but they can't do this all the time. It's going to hurt their customers and their bottom line. So let me know what you think of this whole thing in the comments. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, @Lynch on Sports. My name is James Lynch. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.